Hello, hello, it's June Olson with Junebug Creations, independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, coming to you live from Kalispell, Montana, instead of Whitefish. Yes, we moved and we are not done completely unpacking. I am not even done it with my room. I'll whip the camera over that way. You can see behind me, I'm still not quite done working on it. We're getting there. We're getting there. It's a much bigger job to combine two households than we thought it might be, or maybe we thought we could just knock it out of the park real fast, and that's just not the case, because there's a lot of sorting and figuring out, okay, do we keep this, or do we keep this, or do we keep both of them, or do we get rid of both of them when there are duplicates? And of course, Mom wants to keep her stuff and I want to keep my stuff, so it's a little bit of a okay, I'll get rid of this, you get rid of that, and we'll keep this and you keep that. So yeah, it's just a bigger job. The kitchen is pretty much done. Now we're just kind of checking to see what all are we really using, and then later we can like sort through and get rid of it. Same thing in the craft room, going through, finding things I forgot I even had. That's been really fun. Some old Stampin' Up! Things as well from back when I was a customer over, or about 20 years ago, almost 20 years ago. So it's been interesting to find everything as I unpack. Didn't really see it when I packed because it was just all about get it in the boxes, get it to the new house. But now unpacking, I'm taking my time. So let me know when you pack and move, or when you are like cleaning out a room. Do you find things that you're like, oh my gosh, I've been looking for that forever? Or is it mostly, oh, I forgot I had that, I guess I didn't need it, I'll get rid of it? I'm kind of in both of those stages. I do love organizing, so that part has been pretty nice to be able to do some organizing and kind of change things up than how I had them before. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. It is Wednesday, not Tuesday, but I am doing the kit together Tuesday today because I needed to get back into this. I miss doing these lives for you and showing you. I am using one of the kits from the January kit collection, new kits. I was caught up. I had already done December. I looked back at the lives and saw, and so I have 2 from January and 2 from February to catch up on, and then of course next week is March, so then there's going to be 2 more. So we have lots, and I might double up. I did forget to look and see if anyone said they wanted alternates. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do that today or not. Let's see if anyone said they would want to see some alternates. Let's see. All right, nobody commented on that, or nobody commented that they would like alternates, but I'm thinking maybe in the future I might see about whipping up a simple alternate while we're at it, like on the fly for you, because there's lots of some basic fun folds that you can do, or some basic techniques that you can do to just change the cards up a little bit so that you don't have all the exact same cards. All right, because you might want some different ones or something different, or mixing and matching things. So we can do that too. Let's see how our time rolls. Let's go ahead and switch to this counter, because here we have our box. And because it is a kit, that means it is all inclusive. So everything comes in the kit that you need to make the projects as designed, except a pair of scissors. That's the only thing we have to add for some of the kits. Some of the kits you don't even need that except to open it. 2 tools that I like to add anyways, even though we don't need to, is the take your pick tool, for sure. This one is my go-to tool because it is great for a whole lot of things. If you've been watching me for a while, you know I use the take your pick tool a lot, and I have become very enamored of my tweezers. You can see they're even discolored and heat embossed because I use them so much. They come with the heat embossing toolkit, but I use them so much for so many things. Anytime it's something delicate or challenging, not challenging to use, but where I don't want to fumble with my fingers, I use these. So these are the 3 tools I like to have most on hand when I am doing any craft project, really, any paper crafting, and even non-paper crafting. So our ink spot this time around is Misty Moonlight, and per my usual, I am going to use my regular stamp pad. Then we have some not spots, that's an ink spot. These are stamps, photopolymer stamps. So we have 2 butterflies, and then we have thanks for being you, sending you strength, and I'm always here for you. Great sentiments we can always use. Encouraging others is really just the way to go. All right, here's where you're going to need your scissors at least the one time, and that is to open the package. It just makes it easier than trying to tear at. All right, come on. My hands are dry, so the weather has been dry because we haven't really gotten winter here. Did you get winter where you are? We haven't had a whole lot of winter here. Every time it snows, it then warms up or it rains. So not much of a winter. I know the rest of the country is getting our winter. Hi, Missy. Great to see you. Thank you. You ordered this one. Oh, yay. Well, I trust this isn't going to make you wish, well, I'm sure it'll make you wish you had it right now, but I'm sure that you will love it when you get it. So this is the Butterfly Garden Kit. There are 3 different cards with 3 different designs. And I like that they have the coordinating envelopes, and looks like they even stamped the envelopes as well. So let's check that out. On the back, it shows you everything that's in the kit. Looks like we'll be doing some stamping on some of the die cuts. I like when they have us do that. These are the stamps, and these are just the other 2 languages, which I usually just, I mean, you could cut them off. That would be another reason for having your scissors. Or what I do is I just fold it like that, and that way when I'm done, I can just stick my stamps in here. All right, so, so I no longer have a door on my craft room. So Millie, the dog, just joined us up here. She got left at home today because when the snow melts, it makes it muddy and mucky, and my husband, does guttering, and so he's out at a job site where it's muddy and mucky. So we have these fun little gems. Missy says she had 14 inches of snow on Sunday. I heard that the East Coast got a lot of snow. I think it's since we've been here almost 9 years. Next month will be 9 years. And I think that we've only once or twice ever had that much snow in one sitting. I wish for it. I really do. I don't know that it's going to happen this year. It just doesn't seem to be our year for a full-on winter. So this is faceted gems, and they are white. So we have our block, which I've shown you before, where when you do a lot of kits, you can take your blocks and you can glue them together with the 3D or the regular Stamp and Seal. You can't really use liquid glue. I don't know that it would work. Plus, you wouldn't be able to see through it as well, I'm pretty sure. I haven't tried it. I've thought about it. Hi, Kathy. Great to see you on here. We're heading your way on Thursday to see Guitar compete for the OAC Indoor Championships at Tiffin. So excited to head there. I guess I'll get some winter, but I got to go east to get it. So I'm going to use these that are put together because I like it a little thicker than this. And then we have our dimensionals. Gotta love dimensionals. Oh my gosh. And our chipboard, we want to use that for stamping. And then we have our 3 envelopes. So we'll do one of each card today, like that. Where's my box? There it is. All right, and I'm going to look at the front of the instructions to see which card goes with which envelope. So here are some card bases, and this one goes with the green envelope. This one goes with the yellow envelope, and this one goes with the pink envelope. All right, so now we're going to take our instructions, open it up to this, I kind of call this my little menu page. So it shows you the ingredients. So it could be a recipe sheet, I guess. It shows you the ingredients for each card. All right, so this one, we need the big butterfly. Let's see, the big black and white, or not black and white. It's actually Misty Moonlight. Oh, I have that in the wrong order. So we have this one here. And then it looks like we have, all right. So these are extra. I'm going to go ahead and set those aside. These two butterflies go here. Now you could keep this to use as a stencil. Keep that in mind. I'm going to set that aside. And then we have here, we have this one goes over here. We have one of these here, and we have one of these here, and that's it. And then on this one we have two of the larger butterflies here, and one of the smaller ones. All right, looks like we might have some extra butterflies there. And these here are then the stamps, the gems, the stamp, and the, well, you can't see that very well, the dimensionals that we'll be using. All right, and then our block and our ink. So let's go ahead and flip it over to card 1. We'll set these two aside. We'll bring in our chipboard for stamping, because they always start off first with the stamping. So we're going to stamp. All right, so these are photopolymer stamps, so they are sticky. So you just want to kind of de-stickify them. Yeah, it'll be fun. I love watching him compete, as you all know. I'll post some things for you so you can see. I usually post it on my personal, but I can also throw something on here. They have to be Keytart approved things. So I'm just using my fingers to kind of de-stickify and kind of, I can't think of the word right now. What's the word? Come on, Missy, I know you're my word person. To de-stickify and kind of get them prepped and ready. All right, so we're going to do the thanks. And I'm going to use my block. Turn this over. And tap, tap, tap. I want to practice it over here to make sure it gives a nice clear. If it's not kind of prepped and ready and de-stickified, then sometimes it doesn't stamp as clean. All right, thanks for being you. That's great. I'm gonna, oh, nope, then I'm gonna set this aside, because then we are going to stamp across the bottom of the envelope. All right, so they have both butterflies stamped across the bottom of the envelope. So we're gonna need more blocks, so you know I'm gonna bring in my other sizes, because it just makes it simpler for me showing this to you. Ooh, that one just fits on a C, and this is a B. All right, so we're going to stamp the little one first. All right, so it looks like they kind of have them a little bit wonky, a little bit down, so it's not just in a row all the way across. So let's make sure. Yep, beautiful stamp. Doesn't say anything about stamping off, so I'm just going to randomly. All right, so you have to remember that the envelope has this edge to it right here, this edge. It goes all the way down, so it got a little bit messed up, but you want to make sure that you kind of rock it a little bit so that it goes all the way. All right, and we'll do one up here. And then I'm going to do one down here. All right, and then we're going to take the big butterfly. So I asked up above in my post, do you like, what are your favorite spring bugs? All right, what are your favorite spring bugs? Do you have favorite spring bugs? Maybe you don't like any bugs. All right, so I'm thinking that looks a little cluttered. Here it looks a little less. I'm thinking they may have stamped off, or let's look at the front cover. Yeah, it looks like they stamped some of them off where they inked it once and stamped more times. So that's something to think about when you're doing yours, Missy, after you get yours, because this starts looking cluttered. Whereas had this not been full on, then these would have just looked like they were above. All right, so kind of pay attention to that as you're going. You might ink once and stamp a few times across it to make them give that depth. All right, so I'll keep that in mind for future ones. Here we go. Let's go ahead and put our card together. All right, I can already see one thing that I would do a little bone folder. That's the other tool you want to have on hand if you can. You can always use your thumbnail and just do that as well, but the bone folder is another tool. I've got this new, I'm going to go ahead and show you. I've got this new thing that a friend of mine gave me. It's literally a tool box. All right, it's from, it says US General. It's from Harbor Freight. They also have one at Cobalt, and you can't really see in this picture, but it is purple, like a really, there's my blocks, a really, really rich purple. Like, I love it. All right, and so then it has this drawer here, and this is where I've put my blocks. It has another drawer, that's where I've put my adhesives, and I'm using it over here at my counter for my live, and then up here is where I had set my tools that I was planning on using, except obviously I forgot my bone folder. Now where I have it, I can't have the lid up. I have to just lift it to take my tools out. So they have a light purple in the Cobalt at Lowe's, and they have the bottom for it. So if you have a husband who has the toolboxes, you have the one and then it sits on the base, they have the lighter purple base, which I'm debating, but then I'm looking around thinking, oh, I don't know if it would really fit here. But if you're someone who goes to retreats a lot, this would be a great thing for all your tools to have this plus the base. And this one does fit on the Cobalt base. I tried it. I'm kind of waiting to see if they come out with, if US General comes out with the base or not, because Cobalt, I think, came out with these first. And it comes in different colors. This US General one comes in red, green, like a bright green, purple, and I want to say blue, but I'm not 100% on the blue. I know the Cobalt does come in the light purple and the red and the blue, a real brilliant blue. It's really pretty. So super fun gift that I got from my friend Tina at the retreat in January. It was fantastic. It was so exciting to get it. I immediately put my stuff in it. All right, so let's go ahead and put dimensionals on the back of this. Like that. So yes, so I'm using this on this side and keeping my other tool over there, and I may end up just getting some more of these to put over here. That way I'm always set with my basic tools, because it's just easier that way than having to remember. And I wanted to put it to use. All right, so we're going to take our dimensionals off of here, and I'm going to add one more dimensional because it's kind of bothering me here to the center, just to make sure it doesn't droop in the center. Not that anything heavy's going on it, mind you. I just, you know me, I just like that. All right, so here we go with that. And then, oops, let's not do it upside down. We'll do it like that. Very simple. Very simple. So let's add in our gems, because I was just going to say we need some sparkle. but we'll add in our gems. So we have a big one over here, and a little one over here, and then another little one over here. All right, so what I would think would kind of add to this, we could add some Wink of Stella. All right, so you could totally do Wink of Stella on this butterfly, and I'm just going to do the body to give it a little bit of oomph. The other thing you could do is if you had any sparkly Misty Moonlight gems or any sort of gems kind of that sparkled, you could put them down the body. If you have different sizes, you could Wink of Stella the whole butterfly. You could do just the leaves. You could spritz it with so like, well, we'll just do it like this. I don't know if anything's coming off of there. Can't tell at the moment, but this is what you would do. You'd make sure it's nice and juicy up there and tap it, and it would kind of give you the dots around it. You could add some ribbon to it if you wanted to, or you could even do linen thread behind it and kind of twirl it if you wanted to. So just some other alternate ideas if you wanted more than just this, if this wasn't enough for you. Really, the Wink of Stella, you can see I did it on the body there. It kind of gives it a little bit of a shimmer, and that right there is great. You might consider doing the leaves too if you wanted to. So a great way to just take it up one notch. All right, hello Karen. Yeah, you did catch a live. I haven't been live for quite a while, so great to have you on here with us. You've seen the drawers, you want one of them? Yes, for your new craft room that you're organizing. Lowe's has the top and the bottom of the toolkits, and they are a light purple. They have red, and they have a really nice blue. I can't remember what color you said you were painting your new craft room. And then US, or the Harbor Freight, has the dark purple, the green, the red, and the yellow, and that is but that is only the top, so the 2 drawers and the lid that comes up. The bottom part has 3 drawers, 3 different sizes. So just so you know, check them out. Check them out. I think they're right around $50, but they are solid and heavy because they are metal toolboxes. They're built just the same as the toolboxes for the actual tools that guys use. They're just mini. All right, so how about our next card? All right, it has the same easy closing drawers and stuff. I mean, they're really just like the big toolboxes that men use. They're just mini and they're in the fun colors. Although I did see that there was a full set of the purple in the regular sized toolboxes. So because, you know, tools are not just for men, and so and guys like purple. There are guys who like purple. My son loves purple, but he has to be careful at school because one of their biggest rivals colors is purple. Dragonflies. Oh, another bug. I totally forgot about the dragonfly. Yes, the dragonfly. That's a fun one to watch if you're near water. If you're not near water, you don't see them quite as much. All right, so I'm going to set this here and I'm going to rock it just a little bit because I have my crease here. All right, so I have that. Now with photopolymers, I know you're saying, June, you always say don't rock it. With the red rubber cling stamps, you do not want to rock because they have that outside edge and it gives you a halo. With the photopolymers, that unless you are jamming it into your ink pad, you really won't get the halo. So you can kind of rock it or wiggle it just a little bit to make sure you get that whole surface down on your envelope. All right, so just a little bit. All right, and then we're going to do our sentiment, which is sending you strength. That would be a good one. All right, where'd the stamps go? Oh, here they are. There's hardly anything left on them. Might as well just pull them all off because I have a feeling we're going to be using them all. And I have my little drawer with stamps on it, or with blocks in it. Stamps on it. Yeah, I can talk. It's been a while since I've done this. I had to try and refigure out my whole setup and how to do the camera and all that stuff. Yeah, that wasn't quite. So let me ink that. And remember, if you are inking all the time in the center of your ink pad, start using the side. Okay, start using the side. That way you can really gather up all the ink. All right, sending you strength. Got that now. And we did the envelope. And now we need to do the butterflies. Ooh, I turned my heater up a little bit too high this morning. Starting to get warm in here. All right, so we're gonna do dimensionals. And this one has 1, 2, and 3. And then we have 1, 2, and 3 again. All right, so my fingers are so dry, I'm just going to use the Take Your Pick tool. This tool is really, it's just a major blessing when it comes to crafting. I've been doing scrapbooking and paper crafting for, since the mid-1990s. And let me tell you, this would have been awesome to have all those years ago. It really would have. All right, so this one, and then this one, and I had been given something like that at a retreat, but they didn't show us how to use it. So I didn't use it because I didn't know what it was all about. But Stampin' Up! Showed us how to use this. So I use it all the time for everything. And the one I had been given, this end, it was plastic. It was all one plastic piece. It did have the putty, but I couldn't even figure out what was the point of that. And then this end was just plastic, kind of like the end was kind of like a flat screwdriver. So it just came down to a flat point, not a point. All right, so there is card 2. Again, with this, you could use your Wink of Stella on the flowers, or you could do Wink of Stella on your butterflies, and that would dress it up. Oop, we almost forgot the gems. Speaking of which, dressing it up, we're just using 3 again. All right, so 1 over here, and then 1 down here. And where's my other one? All right, so we have 3. And remember, we're always doing a triangle. Typically 1 large, 2 small. You can do 2 large and 1 small, depending. Usually with the large, if I am doing that, I stick it partially under something so that it's not so super huge in your face. So great card. All right, what are the colors? Can you guess what some of these colors are? I'm thinking this is possibly Flirty Flamingo. Maybe some Daffodil Delight and more Flirty Flamingo. Let's see what our colors are. Millie is back. She's moping because she got left behind. Crushed Curry, Flirty Flamingo, Garden Green, Misty Moonlight, Pretty Peacock, and Timid Tiger. Oh, so that is probably Timid Tiger around those flowers. Yes. All right. Super fun. Here we go. Card 3. Oh no, here's definitely the Timid Tiger, right? Totally. All right. Missy and Kathy, what are your favorite bugs of spring? All right, here we go. So let's, oh, we're going to stamp on these. Here we go. We're going to stamp, stamp, stamp. Here we go. All right. Let's see, are we still good? All right. All right, so we're going to stamp this one on here. So we want to make sure to line this up like that. Ooh, almost perfect. So I need to pull that up just a little bit. There we go. And if it's not perfect, it's okay. All right, it's okay. Oop, nope, we want the little one. So you want the top edge of the orange. You want to see the top edge of the orange right there. All right, and then our sentiment is, I'm always here for you. All right. Shh. Yeah, cats can come in here, dogs can come in here, people can come in here. There's there's not a whole lot of privacy. I'm not sure we thought this through. This has been my thing. I'm not sure we thought this through on buying this house, but we've signed on the dotted line, so we're making the most of it. All right, here we go. These are smaller butterflies, so just 2 dimensionals is all you need. There we go. And then on the sentiment, they also have 2. You can use your take your pick tool to also pull your sentiments, or your dimensionals off its dimensional sheet. Not just the backings like this. Ooh, did I get too many? There we go. Got them all. How sweet is that? Nope, didn't get that one. All right, so let's go ahead and put this one over here in that big old blank spot. I'm going to put this one over here in that big old blank spot. And we're going to put the little one over here in that blank spot. How nice. They set that up perfectly for you. No fail. And then you have your sentiment in that blank spot. Again, you can use Wink of Stella. Just know if you Wink of Stella these, you might want to do it before you stamp it, because when you Wink of Stella, that's getting that water-based ink wet again, and so it could smear. Hi Covina, great to have you on here. Good to see you. So Karen says, love the kits. You're such a directions follower. I read and follow most of the directions and freelance the rest. That's awesome, Karen. I am great to hear that. So I do follow the directions for, well, when I do the, like tomorrow for the paper pumpkin kit, I follow the directions almost completely, not 100%. The first time I make the cards, and then after that I make the alternates. With the kit cards, I do tend to follow the instructions mostly, and then we'll either make suggestions, or like I did earlier with the other one, add some Wink of Stella or something like that. So I don't follow it perfectly, but I am a rule follower, and so maybe that kind of leaks over into the directions follower. Oh wait, we forgot to do the gems, and usually the gems I kind of look and see where they placed it, and sometimes I place it the same and other times I don't. So like this one, I'm going to do a little differently. I'm going to tuck it under there a little bit because it is the large one, and then I'm going to stick that one there and that one there. And remember, you always want to do a bit of a triangle, not a perfect triangle, but some sort of a triangle somewhere where the focus then goes to your sentiment. All right, that's the purpose of your triangle. It doesn't have to be a perfect triangle though, as you can see. It's not perfect, not all the lines are the same length. And that's okay, and that's actually even better. You don't really want to do a perfect triangle. You want to have it elongated in one direction or another. All right, so again, you could Wink of Stella the flowers. If you Wink of Stella the butterflies, I would do it before you stamp the Misty Moonlight on it so that you don't smear all the ink, because the Wink of Stella is wet. This is a water-based ink, so it can smear it. So make sure you do that. Let's see, did they do anything on the, they did do something on the, here we go. We missed that. I missed that. I think I was talking too much. Me? Talking too much? No. Yes. All right. I'm going to actually switch this to the left-hand side because we have a former postal worker on our team, and the post office doesn't actually like you to use the right side for things. So I'm actually going to do this over here on the left instead. All right, there's Benji. So I set up a fun bed for Benji. She had a bed. I just put it in a Stampin' Up! Box and cut off the edges. And she loves sleeping in there. I'll show you in just a minute. I think I posted it. I'm not 100% sure. She's been quite the character with the move, getting into everything. Look at her face right here. Look at her face. Look at that. She's like, what are you doing, June? All right, so let me do this. All right, so that is card 3. Now, the other thing you can do is you can stamp inside. We didn't even do that on any of them, and I usually do. So you can stamp inside as well. So I'm going to do that. Now, if you want to re-stamp, make sure you re-ink, then stamp off and stamp again. All right, that way it looks like that butterfly's behind. But because I had stamped over here, if you go and stamp again, you're going to be missing that whole part, or it's going to be super dark. So make sure. So you could do something like that as well on the inside of your cards. So lots of options, lots of ways to change it up a little bit so you don't necessarily have to have exactly 3 of every card. You can change it up. You can swap out the butterflies. Like you could totally swap out these butterflies here, or even this one. You could put this one on here, these over here, and these up here if you wanted, or swap them directly. There's lots of different things you can do. You don't have to do exactly as the directions say. Like Karen said, that she likes to freelance. Sharon Armstrong calls it going rogue. So anything that you want to do is fine because they're your cards. So make them yours. You can make them however you want. You can follow the directions exactly, or you can freelance, go rogue, and make them your own card. And I encourage that. And when you do something different, I also ask that you post a picture of it down below here in the comments so that other people can get inspired by your freelancing, Karen. All right, so let me just show you the room real quick so far. You'll get a full tour when I'm done. All right, there's Benji up in her box right there. And then here is the rest of the room, still working on it. There's my table, so no classes up here yet. We did classes in the dining room last week, and then we have what I showed you before. Oh, and of course, here is the purple chest of drawers that are empty still. I need to finish those. And then, let's see, here's this side, the computer, and this side that I am working on. So still working on it, still coming together. My goal is to... Well, my goal was to have it done by tomorrow, but I don't know. We'll see how much time I can put in today. I will be back tomorrow at 9:45 for Paper Pumpkin Playdate. Paper Pumpkin is going to be switched to Thursdays, so I'll be going live on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and then every now and then if I've got something special, I'll pick another day. Typically Wednesdays are my day off, where we do errands and appointments, but this week we had none on Wednesday. They were on other days this week, on Monday and Tuesday. So I'm attempting to stay as consistent with you as I can for the lives. Get Together Tuesday will be on Tuesdays, but the time may have to change because doctors just are not following my schedule. I'm sure some of you can relate. So doing the best we can, but Get Together Tuesdays will go back to being on Tuesdays starting next week, since today is Wednesday. But I will let you know on Mondays what time, because it'll just depend on what appointments. And we don't always have. We had one whole week where we had 0 appointments. None of us had any appointments. It was marvelous. Mom and I got so much done on the house. It was fantastic. So, but that doesn't happen very often. All right, so I will see you all tomorrow. I almost said next week. I will see you all tomorrow at 9:45 a.m. Mountain Time, 11:45 a.m. Eastern Time for some Paper Pumpkin Playdate. Got my kit ready to play. All right, I'll see you then. Have a great afternoon and rest of your day. Bye-bye.